our last contestant, contestant number 7, William Scott Hill. Every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. William Scott Hill. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, contest chairman, distinguished judges, guests, and fellow contestants. Thank you for this evening. On September 12, 2005, it was my honor to join the American Red Cross as a blood donor recruiter. My job was to encourage folks to donate blood. During training, I was told every 2 seconds someone needs a blood product in this country. No pressure, but every 2 seconds is your job. Then during training, they told me half of the population is eligible to donate. Yay! Then they further told me that 1 in 20 actually donate. No pressure, but that's your job. As we went further through training, I found out more and more and more. The Red Cross asks you some pretty personal questions when you go and donate blood. They ask you about travel. They ask you about habits that you have or may have had in the past. They ask you some sexual questions too. And we do this. We expect our donors to do this for free. Well, getting back to the personal sexual questions. There's one question. This is, have you ever traded sex for cash? I had a gentleman look at me and said, he's a senior gentleman. He said, son, I've been married for 45 years. I traded sex for a refrigerator once. He assured me it was a good one. It had an ice maker. Well, then, after we take the time out of their day and ask them to donate blood for someone they'll never meet, we stick a 16-gauge needle into their vein. We say, thank you for donating. No one gets paid to donate, but we do give you cookies. And that's my job. Some job, isn't it? Well, I had a secret. Some of the other recruiters had some difficulty, but I had a secret. Because in my heart, in my mind, in my soul, I joined the Red Cross on Monday night, October 21st of 1991. My father was traveling home from the gym on his Harley-Davidson Deluxe. A 1972 Chevy van hits the Harley-Davidson, turns him upside down, and the Harley-Davidson rides my father down the blacktop 150 feet. That slowed him down a little bit, but not enough to keep him from going through the gravel parking lot. The gravel parking lot slowed him down a little bit, not enough to keep him going through the fence. They go through the chain link fence, through the yard, through the sidewalk, and then as his head and helmet strikes the telephone pole, breaking the helmet in half, it stops him. When the medical crew got on the scene, they called me. Not because I had any medical training. We sold guppies for a living. We owned a pet shop. They called me because I was his only son and he was going to die. This is the taught me how to ride a bicycle. This is the same man that taught me how to throw a curveball. This is that same man, when I was 14 and had my first girl problems, said, son, girls never get any easier. And he was right. As I got to the scene, the ambulance was taking him off to the trauma center. I looked at the fence, and where the path of destruction came through, he went through the fence, and I saw a piece of his leather jacket hanging there. And I saw right then and there that my father was going to die. I asked God for 20 minutes to go to the trauma unit to say thank you. Now, don't get me wrong. We were taught to say thank you for passing the potatoes, and thank you for the $10, and thank you for letting me use the car, but I never said thank you for everything. I needed my 10, 20 minutes to say thank you. Well, I got my 20 minutes because the doctors and nurses at the trauma unit worked on him through the night. And he received 10 units of blood that night. You only have 11 in you. He received 10. 10 people. 10 people. Answered the personal questions. Let us stick them. Took time out of their day. Took their cookies. They saved their life. I got my 20 minutes. I got 20 hours. I got 20 days and 20 months. I didn't get 20 years. He died 5 years after that. He's with me every time I tell this story. But that's what blood donations can do. That's how they impact people. That's how they help stories, the stories of a life. So what I would like for you to do, the next time you see a poster hanging up on the wall for a blood drive, or someone calls you on the phone asking you to donate blood, or there's a company blood drive, don't think, oh, I've got this report to do, and that report to do, and that report to do. Oh, I just can't spend the time. I ask you to think. Every 2 seconds, there's a story. Here's another story. Every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. Please, help someone write an additional chapter to the story of a life. Thank you.